Hey angels, let me show you guys how I made this wig on a sewing machine from start to finish. Now, just a few years ago, I probably wouldn't have put this on YouTube because I probably would have sold it like as a course or something. But it's 2024. Like, the girls got to get with this. So, I'm giving y'all my free game, like, very detailed step by step video. And this is a new video because this is 2024, and I'm going to give y'all all the tea, all the game, everything I know about how to make a wig on a sewing machine, the frontal edition. Okay, so make sure you girls pay attention to everything detailed. And one of the bonuses with this video is that I'm using an adjustable cap. Most of the videos that I see now, they're only using the dome caps. So I wanted to kind of give this a twist and show you guys how to do it using the adjustable cap. Now, I will be dropping links below on all the things that I'll be using. And if I happen to forget anything, please drop your comments and questions below. And don't forget to like and follow for more.
Forever gang, I'm never switching over. Made a lane and niggas can't get over. I can't mess with rappers, they be bogus. Rather get the pack and keep it open. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't focused yet.
Come on in, class is in session. Make sure you have your pen and your pad because I'm about to drop all my gems for how to make a 13x4 custom wig on a sewing machine. So let's go. So we're going to start with the frontal and we're going to fold it in half. And the reason being is because we want to make sure we are lining it up directly in the middle with our nose. And then we're going to pull each side down because what I want to see is the part that I'm cutting off. Now, if I was not doing this on myself, I would already have the head measurements from ear over ear to be able to know exactly where I'm cutting. Now, my own ear over ear measurements is an 11.5, but for this video purposes, I'm just showing you how to do it on your own head, basically. So I'm gonna snip each side. I'm not gonna do a deep cut. I'm just gonna snip each side where it comes over my ear. Now, right here from this angle, you're gonna see where I actually did those little slices. So now I'm gonna go ahead and actually do it part, because what I don't want to do is cut the excessive hair. This area right here is going to be the sideburns. So it's very important that we're going to have a clean cut and that we're going to keep that excessive hair. And this just in case you want those baby hairs or whatever, and you just want to make sure it's straight.
Word on the street, I'm a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor want a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. A nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake. Nigga sweeter than a pound cake. Eyes on your chin, better watch what your mouth say. Lean with the footballs, got a nigga tripping. Fuck it, nigga keep sipping. AK with the beam on it. Clip sold on like a lean on it.
So after I had cut one side, I went ahead and just did a measurement check, and from the side that I cut to where the slice is, you can see it's an 11.5. and that's perfect because that is my ear over ear measurements. These are the two pieces that I actually cut off, and you can save those pieces. They can always be used to patch up a wig if a hole was in a wig or etc. So now I'm just doing a measurement check just to make sure it's going to lay nicely from ear to ear, and it does. One side of the lace was cut a little bit more than the other side, but it's okay because that can be adjusted once I actually lay the wig. Now the cap that we're going to be using is an adjustable cap. I needed a small, but I didn't have one, so I'm going to use this medium. And my circumference is a 21, so that's the wig dome head size that we're using today. And the thread that we're using to sew on the lace is nylon thread, but that's not the same one I use for the sewing machine. The one for the sewing machine is polyester. Now we're going to take the measuring tape and we're going to go do our measurements from the front to our nape. My front to nape is a 14.5. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take a T-pin and I'm going to mark the 14.5 mark so I can know exactly where to bring the cap down to. So once I pin down the front to nape measurements, now we're going to get the nape going across, and my nape going across is a 4.5. And so the best way to do it is fold the measuring tape in half. Let's say if it was a 5, you know it's going to be right at 2.5 for the middle. But because it's a 4.5, we're not doing all that math. So we're going to fold it in half, and that bend mark, that's going to be your middle. So that's how you're going to know where to place it. And then you're going to bring the sides of the caps down. And then that's how it's going to be the exact measurement for going across, if you understand what I mean. Now for this one, I did a little bit over, and that's only because this have hooks in the back for the adjustable cap, and I do not want to sew on top of that. So we want to make sure that the hooks are out the way, and you want to make sure your cap is nice and smooth. Now again, this is a medium cap, so it does have a little bit of those ridges at the bottom, so please disregard that. If it was a small cap, it would have been super flat, but I'm just going to work around that because I kind of know what I'm doing. So right here, we're going to fold the frontal in half again. It's always important to fold the frontal in half whenever you're about to place it on your head or on the wig cap, because you want to make sure you know where the middle is. So once I find the middle, I'm going to go ahead and do my T-pins. And it's very important from the back that whenever you're placing your lace down, that you go straight down. Do not go like slanted or like forward or like backward. Like, you see how I'm going straight down and I'm going back and forth from one side to the next, because I need that lace to be going perpendicular along my head, like super straight. See, I'm not pushing it towards the front or towards the back. I'm just coming exactly straight down. Like, that's a very important step, because if not, your lace is not gonna, your wig is not gonna fit right. Everything is gonna be wrong. So when doing frontal wigs, just make sure once you get your measurements and you're putting on that lace to sew it down, make sure you are coming straight down for the pins. Okay? All right. You know what it is whenever I visit any city, only can see it's on 30 degrees, way too cold, so hold me tight. Will I see you at the show tonight? Will I see you at the show tonight? Hey,
Truck to the plane, to the truck to the hotel lobby. Me, I go through underground garages, presidential suite on deposit, elevator up to the room, shower up and then we hit the club. Touchdown, gotta see what's up.
So as you can see right here, this side is a little bit longer than the other side, and this is what I was saying earlier in the video, but this is okay because once I actually put the wig on and lay the lace and cut around my ears, that's the part that I can go ahead and snip off. So I wasn't too big on trying to make sure that was super even. Now here in the front, if everything is right, there's going to be like this M. You see like that M shape along the lace. So that is normal. What I want to do is I want to take the lace and I want to pull the sideburns like towards the front and just lay them flat. And then you're going to see like that M shape. And that's normal. So now the next step is getting the hair out the way so we can go ahead and sew the lace down. And I am going to begin by sewing it down with my hands.
What numbers do I still have? Who do I know from the past? Hit one, she say she got a man. Hit another one, it goes green. Must have changed foes on the team. Remember when you let me in between? That was 2017.
So for sewing down the lace, we're going to use a C needle and we're going to use some nylon thread.
Do it all the time. Keep your guards up, who waited line. You don't need me, please believe me. This ain't easy. You know I've been feeding. Let me unleash my demons on you. What's the word?
Now as I'm sewing it, I am going to wrap the thread around the needle 2 times and then I'm going to pull it up. And I'm going to continue to do that along the entire lace. That's just to lock it in. And I'm also going really close beside each other because I don't want to have those big spacey gaps. This area right here, I will not be having the tracks go over this because if ever I need to change out the lace, I don't want to have to like remove the tracks at the edge some. So it's going to meet exactly like right beside each other. So I just need to make sure this part is nice and smooth because I'm not going to like reinforce it with the sewing machine. Now towards the top I will, because there's going to be a track there towards the top, but not on the sides. But you'll see later on in the video. So now that we have our lace on nice and smooth, it's time to move on to the next step, which will be drawing our guidelines. And the guidelines are going to help us stay, like, basically keep the wig neat, keep the track straight. And I like to have my guidelines an inch apart. And you're going to see here, I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to make an inch space going all the way up between each track placement.
Tell me what you heard. Tell me what to do. Just tell me when it hurts. Wanna get you to myself. There's murder. What's the word? Tell me what you heard. Tell me what to do. Just tell me when it hurts. Wanna get you to myself. There's murder. What you mean, you and me? I'm here all by myself. You around, she's around, let's be polite, not leave her out. What you call this? Hope it's not romantic. I ain't got no kids, so don't be so childish. Wildin', I be wildin' too. Not like you, so maybe look like you. Maybe we ain't so different. Maybe I be trippin'.
Now once I get to the top 2, I'm gonna go more parallel with the lace. As you can see, all the other ones are going perpendicular, but those top 2, I'm gonna go parallel You have to go along with the shape of your head whenever you are doing these guidelines.
What's the word? Tell me what you heard. Tell me what you do. Just tell me when it hurts. When I get you to myself, there's murder. What's the word? Tell me what you heard. Tell me what you do. Just tell me when it hurts. When I get you to myself, there's murder.
Doesn't make sense, no. Shit just got real, things are getting intense, huh? I hear you talking about we heard that boy speak French, huh? Giving me signs, so I gotta take a hit now.
So this hair that we're going to be using is some Vietnamese hair. It's 3 bundles of 24-inch Vietnamese straight. And I'm actually trying it out for the first time. And when I tell y'all I love this hair, this is some super straight, silky hair. Like, I really love this hair. Now, I was so focused on trying to make sure I didn't sew over the hook slots that I forgot to record the first track, and I wasn't about to take it out just to redo it for the video. So yeah, this is the first track, and as you can see, the hooks are not sewn. The slots are free, so you can actually insert the hooks. You have to be very careful whenever you're using this type of cap, because if you sew on top of that, it's like defeating the purpose of having an adjustable cap. But back to this hair for a second. Like, this Vietnamese hair is like chef's kiss. I did add it to my website because that's how much I love it. This video is old, so I had already tested the hair, worn the hair and everything before I decided to add it to my website. I was thinking about selling my vendors this year, but I'm not sure. As of right now, this is added to my vendor collection. I do have a Indonesian hair vendor, a Indian hair vendor, a virgin hair vendor. I have a cap vendor that will sew on the caps for you, like the frontal, the lace frontals and the closures. They'll sew the lace on for you and send you the cap like that. So basically you'll have a head start with sewing your wigs. I have a lot, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. I just wanted you guys to know that.
I just like you wanna hang right now.
Now, so the wigs won't be bulky on their sides. I always start it like this, where like one track is in front of the other. Now, normally I would go ahead and like double the tracks before even making the wig, but I didn't do that this time. If you look on some other videos, you will see that I have done that previously, but this is what I'm doing on this particular wig. Now, the key to sewing on the sewing machine is basically making sure everything stays flat. Do not actually pull or stretch the cap. All you want to do is make sure it remains flat. Make sure nothing is up underneath the cap, and make sure the tracks are flat and straight. But do not actually stretch the wig or stretch the cap as you're sewing, because if you stretch it, once you're done, there are going to be ridges in the cap from it being stretched. So just make sure, and this is a very important thing, make sure it just remains nice and straight and flat, but do not stretch the cap. And also, once you get to the ends, from starting and finishing, always want to back stitch. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm back stitching. You can back stitch maybe 3 times. Sometimes I like to OD it, like right here. I'll probably back stitch maybe like 4 or 5 times. Don't do that. You don't gotta waste your thread like that. You ain't gotta be like me. Just do it like maybe 3 times. So you can see the thread is a little bit more heavier at the ends, and we want that because we don't want it to unravel. But again, 2 or 3 times is good. I just started and I'm already counting my tracks. This is a bad habit. I don't know why I'm doing this. I only did 2 tracks so far and I'm already counting it. But yeah.
I've been up for 2 days thinking what I did to keep you going. Coming through the cosmos that you left me telling me what I went.
Another tip is you want to make sure you get those thread pieces out the way on each track. I don't wait to the end and cut off the extra thread. I do it as I go along with each track because it's easier to monitor. Now right here, I just put the wig back on my head to see how my progress was. I like doing this. Now, my hair up underneath this cap is not flat, as you can see. It's like probably in like 2 or 3 big bulky braids, so that's why it's kind of looking like that. But it is actually straight. Don't let the braids fool you to think that it's going like in another direction, but it's nice and secure. And yeah, we're gonna continue. I just wanted to show you guys the process and the progress. So now we are starting on our second bundle. That's one bundle that's already in completely. And we have 2 more bundles to go. So I want this thing to be full. So my goal is to put every piece of hair in there. Now I was going to do 4 bundles, but again, y'all got to remember, I was actually testing this hair out and I'm like, I'm not buying 4 bundles of 24 inch. 3 can be enough where it's still going to look natural. I could always go back in and add a 4th bundle if I wanted to make it thicker. Now, as you can see here, the cap is nice and flat, and I'm going slowly so you guys can see, and so I can make sure there's no hair underneath and that we're not like sewing nothing wrong. It's always nice to take your time. I can go faster than this, but it's going to waste more time by going fast and messing up, and then you have to take out the track and redo it. So take your time, and then once you begin to get good at it, then you can kind of go through it much faster. And my personal preference, I think that if you sew using a dome cap, that is much easier than sewing using the adjustable caps for some reason. Like, I started with a dome cap. They're just so much easier, especially for closure wigs. Now, if this was a closure wig, I definitely would have been using a dome cap. But because it's a frontal, I like to go back and forth between the dome cap and the adjustable cap. And I don't really see nobody on YouTube that have a video with showing how to make a wig using an adjustable cap. So I decided to use that as well for that purpose. So now we have 3 more tracks left, and we have the right amount of hair to finish this thing out. And I am continuing to double each track as I go up. Now that track that I'm going to do next, that's going to be the last track that's like a C shape, and then the very last 2 are going to be parallel to the lace. That's how the inside look. Everything is nice and neat. So now this is how the wig looks when it's only 1 more track left. And we're going to sew that last track going across the top of the lace. This is the sides. See, we didn't go over on top of the lace. We stopped directly in front of it or right beside it. And for this last track, I am going to double it because I need all the hair up in this wig, baby. Getting to that last track can be difficult sometimes on a frontal. So this is a little trick that I do is I fold that lace back and I lift up the lever, whatever you want to call it, and slide that bad boy in, making sure that the needle is up. You don't want it to scrape or jag or cut it or do anything. Your lace is very important. So once that is in there, I always like to put the wig in first so I can have the placement, then I'll go in and then place the track on top of it. And don't forget, we always want to back stitch each track, even if it's the last track. Make sure you back stitch at the beginning and at the end, because we do not want no loose tracks or no unraveling tracks or thread or anything of that nature.
Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you understand? Your love is a 1 in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give.
So now this is how the last track looks. It's nice and neat, and it's sewn along the top of the lace. So next we're gonna go ahead and cut off the excessive part of the cap, the inside. And I always like to just start in the middle and cut straight to the back, and then I'm gonna work on one side, then I'm gonna cut on the other side. So real quick, this is how the inside of the cap looks. It's nice and neat. And we have a frontal wig, so we're about to cut off this extra part, and I'm not going to go so close to the edge yet. I'm just going to get most of it off, and then I'm going to go back and go closer along the sides of the edge. Now, one important thing is, if you go close, you need to make sure that you're not going to cut the thread, because if you cut one little piece of thread, then the whole thing is going to kind of start to unravel, and we don't want that. So once I get to the edge, I'm actually going to do those parts last. So this is me coming around to the other side to get all that excessive part off, and then I'm going to do the adjustable bands. I'm going to do that part last.
Everything you do makes me love everything about you. Your smile, your style is so fly. I can't deny. I got a crush
So we have a full frontal wig, baby. Not no T-frontal or none of that. A whole frontal. So now it's time to take off the excessive part. And this is a little important because if you cut it wrong, then it's going to be defeating the purpose of having those adjustable straps at the end. So how I like to do is, you're going to see where my thumb is. I'm going to cut like right in front of my thumb. So you see that black line part? Well, the whole thing's black, but the part that I have my thumb on, that's like a little wire in there. So I'm cutting, like, basically I'm cutting that part off. But the part on the left that's folded, you got to make sure you don't cut that part, because that's a part of the actual strap. So it should look like that. And this is the other side. Same thing. Like, once I flip it over, the part that's where my thumb, where my index finger is, I'm going to cut right between that part. I'm cutting that wire part off, but I'm leaving on the part that's folded to start the actual adjustable strap. We're going to put the straps inside the holes and we're going to hook them and we're good to go. Now, one thing that you can do, I have done this before. I might do it on this wig, but I'm going to try it on first because it's a medium cap. But you can also add the adjustable band inside here as well. I think I have a video up showing you how to add the bands. Well, I got it up showing you how to add the bands inside of a closure wig, but not frontal. So I will do that for you guys. Now, this right here is me showing you the difference between once the wig was flat ironed and how it looked in the natural state. And I actually ended up not needing the band to go on the inside because the wig had fit perfectly. So with this hair, you don't need a lot of products. After I flat ironed it, I took some of my 1102 styling foam, which is available on the website. All the links will be listed below for all the products I use. And this right here is to get rid of the flyaways. And then after I use that, I just took a little bit, maybe a dime size of the BioSilk oil, and I just kind of ran my hands through it. I actually made this wig and did the install all in the same day. So the install video was, I wasn't given no install video at all. But towards the end of this clip, I am going to show you a picture because I did a photo shoot. So I'm going to show you a picture of how the wig looked because I actually cut layers in it and curled it. So I didn't think the picture was enough, so your girl had to come with a video. So you guys, I want you to drop your comments below. Tell me what you think overall about the wig, about the video. Was it helpful for you? Do you have any questions? Just drop your comments below. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.
For the flight, nigga, can't even see me. I'm way out of here to fight the sky. Hermes ash for the dump, my ash. Bitch so pretty, little